evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lawrence Demare, and I'm the principal here at Central Peel Secondary School, or as I like to refer to it, the best secondary school in all of Peel. I'm really excited and delighted to welcome you here this evening to hear about what I think are two amazing learning choice opportunities for your son or daughter for next year. And we have lots of information to share with you this evening. So before we begin, I'm just thanking you for taking time to come and show some interest in the programs that we offer here at Central Peel. And we're delighted that you're here so that we can share with you. We hope that this evening we give you some information to really think about as you're considering your options for high school for your son or daughter. And we know that the programs that we're offering here are two really excellent examples. Here at Central Peel, we're very unique in that we actually have two regional programs. Any other school in Peel that has a regional program only has one. So in that regard, we are very unique. And the impetus or the genesis of offering these two programs really was about making sure that we had program options available here at this school and as part of the Peel family for students who are highly motivated. We believe that all students should be able to be challenged at the level that they're working at. And if they are highly motivated and high achieving, we really believe that they deserve to have a program that meets their needs. So both of the programs that you're going to hear about tonight, we believe, A, they work really well together, and B, provide that enrichment, that opportunity for students to enjoy the love of learning and to really challenge themselves to do well. The goals of our program then were to create a program, as I said, for these, what we call HMSs these days, highly motivated students. These are students who really enjoy their studies and want to put extra effort in and want to work really hard at school. We are founding our programs on the ideals that students really should be involved in deep inquiry, that they should be developing some independence in terms of their learning and their work habits, and that they learn to collaborate well with other students. We know that in the 21st century, these are skills and competencies that are going to be highly sought after, both in post-secondary education and in the world of work. The programs, again, were about supporting the ideal of academic excellence. We pride ourselves on our commitment to excellence and to rigor in our programs. But we're not just about academics. We also want to make sure that our programs are creating a foundation for just well-rounded, good citizens. And we hope that our programs and the other opportunities that are available here at Central Peel, many of which you'll hear about tonight, provide that well-rounded experience at high school for students so that they are not just showing excellence in their academics, but also in the way that they conduct themselves and some of the other things that they're involved in. So we believe this formula really does set students up very well for success in life. As I said, this is a school that prides itself on innovation. We, over the last few years here at Central Peel, the staff has been deeply involved in transforming our school to a 21st century learning environment. This diagram or this graphic that you see in front of you here represents what we call the Central Peel Learning Framework. And the framework is designed to remind us and to guide us as we create learning environments that are going to develop 21st century competencies for students. We are working extremely hard to make sure that our learning environments are integrating technologies in the way that are going to really enhance student learning. And we are building the capacity of our students to understand when and how to use technology in those very positive ways. In addition to that, we have a unique team here in the staff, and I believe we have the best teaching staff that is possible in Peel for sure. And this highly dedicated group of staff members not only have been working for a number of years to design and put together the two regional programs that we have, they've also undergone specialized training to be able to deliver the advanced placement program, and we have the highest caliber of expertise in our strings program as well. But you'll hear more from those folks later, and I'll let them describe to you what they've done to help put this program together. Along that same theme of innovation, I'm sure some of you will already know, because it's been a lot in the media quite a bit lately, that we are the first public secondary school in Peel Region to have a uniform policy. So I think this is another example of us not only being innovative and being on the front edge of new trends, but it's also, I think, a demonstration that we are responsive to our community needs. The impetus for having a school uniform policy definitely came from our parent community, and since we've introduced this uniform policy at the beginning of the school year, we certainly have had nothing but positive feedback from both our community and from our parents around this new direction for our school. All of this, I think, really enhances and demonstrates the lengths that our school is willing to go to put together excellent programs for students. But you're here to hear more about the two specific programs that we offer that will be of particular interest as you're weighing out your options for next year. The first is the Regional Advanced Placement Program, and we are the first school in Peel to have a comprehensive regional program. You'll hear lots of details tonight. In fact, we're going to give you so much information, it will probably hurt a little bit. But one of the things that you should keep in mind is that our program is really designed to lay solid foundation for students all the way from grade 9 through grade 12 for advanced placement. And we believe that this difference between us and many other schools that offer advanced placement is this comprehensive program that is spread out over the entire 4 years of their high school career. But first, in detail, you're going to hear about the second program, which is our Regional Strings program. And I am not the expert on that, but luckily we have here our Regional Strings program teacher and coordinator, Nicole Marquez, who is now going to come up and talk to you about our Regional Strings program.
Thank you, Mr. DeMayor. Good evening. Thank you very much for being here tonight. I'm Nicole Marquez. I'm the strings teacher, and I'm here to tell you a little bit about our Regional Strings program in its second year at Central Peel. So what is the Regional Strings program? The Regional Strings program is an academically enriched music program where students play a string instrument all throughout their 4 years of high school at any of the 3 levels: beginning strings for students with no prior musical knowledge, intermediate and advanced strings for experienced string players. Here in the Regional Strings program at Central Peel, we really believe that music education makes our students better, no matter what profession they choose. There are so many studies out there that show the benefits of music education, and these are just some statistics taken from a great book called Interactive Listening. MRI scans of brain activity during a music event shows us that music uses more tissue than science, math, language, or athletics. A recent study at Vanderbilt University studied 100 students and found that those with 8 years of musical training had a higher IQ and were stronger in creative problem solving. Condoleezza Rice, a political scientist and diplomat, Alan Greenspan, an economist, Bruce Kovner, the hedge fund billionaire. Did you know that she trained to be a concert pianist? He was a professional clarinet and saxophone player, and he studied piano at Juilliard. Woody Allen, a screenwriter, director, and actor, Paula Zahn, journalist, and James Wolfenson, former World Bank Group president. And did you know that he performs weekly with a jazz band? She's a cellist and attended college on a music scholarship, and he has played cello at Carnegie Hall. And to conclude, Paul Allen, the co-founder of Microsoft, he began playing violin at the age of 7. These are just some quotes they shared in the article. Music reinforces your confidence and the ability to create. Music teaches a drive for perfection. Ensemble playing teaches you to play well with others, to know when to solo and when to follow. These are just some of the skills the study of music develops. pattern recognition, social, memory, logic and language, creativity, emotion, abstract, spatial thinking, improvisation, motor skills, visual imagination. Here's what our students had to say.
I want to be an accountant one day.
I want to be a speech pathologist.
I want to be an engineer.
I want to be a scientist.
I want to become a doctor.
I want to be a lawyer.
And that's why we study music.
Even if you weren't considering it before, maybe studying music might be the creative output during your high school music experience. Almost 90% of our students are AP students. These students realize the importance of music education in making them competitive professionals in their various fields. The Regional Strings program works seamlessly with the AP program, and you can be in both programs if you choose. Even if you haven't played an instrument or studied music before, you too can let music make you smarter by applying to the Regional Strings program. So what are the orchestra instruments? Let's look at what instruments you could choose to play in the Regional Strings program. First is the violin.
We play the violin, the soprano voice of the strings family.
Next we have the viola.
We played the viola.
The viola is the alto voice of the strings family.
It is slightly larger than a violin.
Next is the cello.
I play the cello. It's the tenor voice of the string section.
And last but not least, the double bass.
I play the double bass, the bass voice of the string orchestra, and the biggest instrument.
So what does our Regional Strings program offer? Our students work on solo, large, and small ensemble work. We have music literacy and creative enrichment, which includes music theory, composition, and ear training. The students have the option as well of writing an AP Music Theory exam in grade 12, which earns them a Harmony Year 1 credit in university, which is fantastic for students wanting to take a double major or a minor in music, or even just get another university elective. There are various leadership opportunities always available for our students. Masterclasses and clinics with well-known music professionals. Last year we had Deva, a well-known electric string quartet here at Central Peel, working with our string students. Community partnerships and field trips to live concerts and rehearsals. We have yearly TSO field trips and rehearsal attendance. Last semester, our students visited Ontario, Canada to learn more about careers in music, and they performed an original piece with a D'Addario artist and filmed a video at the D'Addario Canada warehouse. Yamaha has donated over $15,000 in acoustic and electric string instruments to our program. And they even tweeted about us. They've been working alongside our program at Central Peel because of the high quality of exemplary music education our students are receiving. And the Brampton Guardian even covered our string events. There are also various extracurricular opportunities for our strings players, such as pop strings, where they explore pop music on string instruments. Other extracurricular opportunities include Strings Council, Strings Social Committee, and an e-newsletter club. At the end of the 4-year strings program, the students receive a certificate of excellence. Now, who can apply to the Regional Strings program? The answer is everyone. Everyone can apply. Whether you're a beginner, an intermediate, or advanced player, this is the right program for you. If you're a beginner, you have no previous music experience but have always wanted to learn a new instrument, you sign up for the beginning strings class. There's just a brief interview about your prior musical experiences. Students that already play a string instrument at the intermediate level should sign up for the intermediate strings class. You will be asked to play a solo, some technical exercises, and a short sight reading excerpt. All of these requirements are available on our school website. And if you play a string instrument at the advanced level, you should audition for the advanced string class, where the requirements are 2 solos, technique exercises, and sight reading. Once again, all of this is available on our website. Students are required to have an instrument to practice on. Violin and viola students have a cubby to store their instruments while at school. Cello and bass students have an instrument provided at school. We have a rental program with Long and McQuaid, and there are various options available, such as renting, rent-to-own, or purchasing an instrument. I want to thank you for watching our strings presentation, and I'd like to invite you to please join us after the AP presentation in the strings room. It's room 134 for questions and answers. You can follow the signs outside, and AP and string students will also guide you. Thank you for your time. The Central Peel Chamber Strings Ensemble, with students from grades 9 and 10, will be performing a short piece for you. They have prepared in their brief 2 weeks of classes. I hope you enjoy it.
Fantastic. Thanks very much. So now we're going to move into talking to you a little bit more in depth about the Advanced Placement Program. And we are very fortunate this evening to have an expert in the house. As per normal, we have Linda Robinson with us, who is the Associate Director of AP Canada, who's going to come up and really give you an overview of what advanced placement means, not just for Central Peel, but really across the whole country and the world. So welcome to Linda Robinson.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I feel a little sorry for you because there is no music in my presentation and nothing is going to dance on the screen. All you have is me, okay? I'm delighted to be here. It's always such a pleasure to come to one of these presentations at Central Peel. As you can see, it's a dynamic school and it has a wonderful team of teachers and a great feeling in the entire school. I'm going to talk about the serious stuff now, though. What I'm going to do in my presentation is talk to you about what AP is, because I expect some of you don't really know what that stands for. At least I hope you don't, because then you'll feel you've learned something from me. What is pre-AP, and what are the benefits of the AP program? What is AP? Well, it's a worldwide program which allows motivated high school students to study an enriched course when they're in high school and then write an exam in May that could lead to university credit for them. The exam written in May is written, last year we had 4.2 million of these exams written all over the world in about 140 different countries. So you can see that it's a very broad, very well-respected, very established program. The students in Central Peel will take their Ontario credit, and the teachers will enrich the Ontario course so that they are capable of handling the university level material that will be on their AP exam. This sounds as if it's going to be much harder than Ontario, and so a lot of people say, oh, I don't want to do that because my marks will go down. That's why I've written the word marks up there, because that's often what springs into people's mind. And that is not the case, because on the AP exam is a university level exam. The student's report card will reflect the mark that the students would have got in the regular Ontario course. So because the students will have covered the material that they're studying in greater breadth and depth, probably their mark on the Ontario grade 12 course will be higher than it would have been and not lower. So I just wanted to dispel that fear from the start. The courses are taught to the students by their Peel high school teachers during the regularly scheduled class, so you don't have to come to extra classes or anything. The courses are developed by university professors who know what the curriculum of a normal first-year university course in that subject is, and by experienced AP teachers who are familiar with the pace at which students can learn. The exams are written, as I say, around the world on the same day in the same time slot, and they are written in the student's home school. So the students here will write their AP exams right here at Central Peel. Each of the exams is 50% free response and 50% multiple choice, and the exams are about 3 hours long. Doesn't that sound like fun? Are all the grade 8 students getting excited now at the idea of a 3-hour exam? The only course that isn't an exam is the studio art course, and the students for that course submit a portfolio. Now, it sounds as if this is rather daunting, and you might be sitting there thinking, how can high school students write university level material? There are several key words up here, and I wish I could make them dance around like the previous people did. I'll have to get somebody to help me from Central Peel for that. In the first line, the important words are motivated students. The students have to be motivated and want to do this. And the other key word up here is high school teachers. Your students are going to be taught by Central Peel teachers who know them, who know how fast students can learn. You have to take into consideration one other thing. That is, several of you I know are familiar with university. You might have been there yourself or have older students who are there. In a first-year university course, often there are hundreds of students, 300, 400, 600, sometimes 1,000 students in a first-year university course. Here at Central Peel, the students will be in a high school class so that they have the advantage of having a teacher teaching them who knows them, who knows their strengths and weaknesses, and knows also that they're going to have to bring that child up to the AP level when they write their exam. And by the way, the exam is usually written in grade 12. AP only applies to the year in which the students write the exam. The years before they write the exam are called pre-AP years. Okay? And this is the other big advantage that you have here at Central Peel, that they have in place a pre-AP curriculum. So pre-AP is a sequence of courses that are prepared so that the students will be successful in the AP exam. And as you can see, they are in five areas here at Central Peel. So the students start in grade 9 to be enriched, and then they're further enriched in grade 10, further enriched in grade 11. So by the time they get to grade 12, the difference between high school level material and university level material is much less. They've been preparing for this for 4 years. Not all schools in Ontario have this intensive pre-AP program, and this is the ideal way to be successful on an AP exam. The Central Peel teachers have had training as well, and they've had training to help them learn what the skills are, what the habits of mind are that students need for success on their AP exam. The third element is the type of teaching that goes on in the classroom. Problem solving, inquiry-based, hands-on learning for the students. And this will lead them to success in their AP courses, at university, and beyond. There we go. The AP exams are given a score of 1 to 5. And as you can see, the happy face gets smaller, okay, going down. But the bottom one is not an unhappy face. Because even if a student writes an AP exam and only gets a 1, the studies have shown that they will still do much better at university than had they not had 4 full years of enrichment. So it's a win-win situation for the students. You get enriched, you have an enriched high school career, and you go on to university, and you are far better prepared for success in university. Don't forget that this is a mark that's based on post-secondary material. This isn't the mark on the Ontario program. This is the mark based on the university level material. So even a 1 or a 2 is a kind of success. What the universities in Ontario are looking for is that the students receive a mark of a 4 or a 5, okay? And that is considered in Ontario to be success. In the States, they will often consider a student successful in AP if they have a 3. So if you have a 4 or a 5, the university may give you transfer credit or advanced placement or both. And I'm just going to explain what the difference is here. Queen's University History Department says any student who writes an AP history exam and gets a 4 or a 5 will receive a history credit when they arrive at the university. There are 3 AP history courses: World History, European History, US History. So theoretically, a student could arrive at Queen's, have written the 3 AP history courses, and got 4 or 5 on all of them, and have 3 credits waiting for them the day they walk into the university. But the Queen's History Department also says everybody who majors in history at our university has to take our first-year university course, because that's where we teach them how we do our research, how we write our papers, how we do our bibliographies. So in that case, they would get the transfer credit, but they would not get the advanced placement. That is rare. Most universities say you get a 4 or a 5, you will go into the second-year course. Okay, you'll get a credit for the first year, and you go into the second-year course. Now, a lot of you are thinking, oh, that might be risky. What if the biology teacher in high school missed something? Well, the fact that you've got a 4 or a 5 on your AP exam shows that you know the material. And once again, there have been extensive studies done that show that students who come from high school and go to university, comparing two groups of high school students from the same high schools and the same socioeconomic background, everything similar, they compare students that come from grade 12, go into first year university, to students who've gone to the same type of school from grade 12, take the advanced placement credit, go to second year university. And do you know which group does better in second year university? The ones that went directly from high school to second year. Okay, not the ones that went to first year, the ones that went to second year, because they're continuing to challenge themselves. If they did the first year course, they're repeating material. So the brain's not working. So it is a good challenge, and it is a challenge that well-trained AP students rise to. AP courses are recognized by every Ontario university and virtually all universities across Canada, 90% of post-secondary institutions in North America. Now, 90% because community colleges don't tend to have an AP policy, because it's not typical that a student would go AP in high school to community college. What they would do, though, is go AP in high school, university, then they might go to community college for some specific job training. And over 600 universities all around the world. Okay. Here's a few statistics just to show you the breadth and depth of the AP program. As I said, 4.2 million exams written last year in the world, 26,500 in Canada, 8,233 in Ontario last year. We now have in Ontario there were 215 high schools in Ontario that had students write AP exams, but we have over 300 AP and pre-AP schools in Ontario. Not all of those have the extensive pre-AP program that you have offered here at Central Peel. A lot of schools just offer maybe one AP course or two AP courses. Okay, so why would a student want to take AP? Well, I'm not going to say because of the university credit right off, because I don't think that is the biggest advantage. I think the challenge and the enrichment that you get is what is going to stay with you for your high school career, your university career, and the rest of your life. Students also have a chance to enhance their own strengths. When it comes to writing AP exams, they don't have to write 5 or 6. They write the exams that they feel they want to write. Students get a chance to play a more active role in their own learning, because AP courses encourage students to be independent learners, to read beyond what's just on the curriculum. Students will be a step ahead at university. They will have done university-type writing, university-type exams, university-type activities before they arrive at university. And advanced placement credits give the students a chance to increase their opportunities at university, to continue to excel and be enriched, or, for example, to do a double major. A student who's going into history at Queen's, as I mentioned, could presumably have 3 history credits and 2 English credits and arrive with 5 credits already. So it won't take them 5 years to do a double major, as it usually does, but they could probably complete it in 4. The emphasis on AP courses is on the 21st century skills, as Mr. DeMeyer was just saying: inquiry-based, problem-solving, creativity, collaboration. And students do have an advantage at university admission, not so much in Ontario, because that's done by a computer. But if a student is applying for a special scholarship or a special program, there's a supplemental application they can fill out, and the university then learns that they are AP material. If you're applying to the United States to a university, there will be a question on the first page of the application form that says, how many APs have you studied? And there is international recognition as well. You may be applying to England, you may be applying abroad, and they'll say, how do we know what the standards of Central Peel Secondary School are? Oh, just a minute, it's an AP school. That's an internationally recognized standard. Now, the next slide is not science, okay? It's not widely researched. It's something that I have observed in going around and talking to the 300 schools and parents and students and teaching students and training teachers since 1990 to be AP teachers. What are the characteristics of an AP student? You may have all of these characteristics or none. Okay, this is just to give you an idea of the sort of characteristics we look for in typical AP students. They are high academic achievers. Okay, they're not the students that say, yeah, 60 is fine. No, that's not going to cut it if you're going into an AP class. They are intellectually curious. They are the question askers in the class. They're the kid that wants to ask the question that the teacher has to say, can I get back to you on that? Okay, so they like to challenge not only themselves, but the teachers as well. They're energetic and they're usually involved in all aspects of school life. You've already heard that 90% of the students in the Strings program are already in the AP program. AP students are your student leaders, your student athletes. They're the students that have the lead role in the play, that take the Strings program, and that do all sorts of volunteer work. I'm always amazed when I find out how much work AP students do outside of their AP classes. They are often self-starters and like to be independent learners. Avid readers often, not always, but often avid readers. Passionate about learning and about causes. Well, no, this is the one that's going to make the parents laugh. Well organized and have good time management skills. Parents don't often see that your bedroom is well organized, do they? But you know where everything is. And the time management skills you have to have, because if you're going to be studying AP, you don't want to be a nerd. You want to be able to do all the other things that everybody else does, so you have to have good time management skills in order to get the intense work done and still have time to party and do all the things that everybody else is doing. And they are willing to take risks, willing to take academic risks and say, I think I can do this. I'd like to try this. Okay. I hope you've learned something about AP. I'll be here later if you have questions. Thank you for listening to me. And I'd like to turn the microphone back over to Mr. Demir.
Thank you, Linda. So you can see that the program that we are offering here at Central Peel, the Advanced Placement Program, is not only an amazing learning opportunity that exists here, but it's connected to a wide set of resources that's not just Ontario or Canada-wide, but in fact worldwide. So we're really pleased to be part of this network of exceptionally high standards and such a deep program. One of the things that we have really worked on a lot here is to really take a look at our in-house program and what are the things that we're going to focus on. And a lot of this Linda has already mentioned, but this framework that we have here is our Central Peel Advanced Placement Framework. And you can see that at the center of our program is a focus on critical thinking and problem solving. This fits along with that 21st century theme. But it is much broader than that, of course. We do know that knowledge and understanding is very important, and we are working really hard to build independence in students so that they understand what their strengths and learning styles are and that they're able to take the role in terms of guiding their own learning. Communication and creativity, another of the sets of 21st century skills, are also key components of our program. Of course, all of this academic training is only useful, I think, if students develop strength of character and are given the opportunity to demonstrate those things through leadership opportunities. So again, we've tried to build a program that doesn't just focus on academics, but really does try to incorporate a fulsome program that will develop all aspects of the student's life. Our teachers have worked, these elements at the bottom here are the commitments that our teachers have made in terms of providing opportunities for students to develop those characteristics. As Linda mentioned, some of the reasons why you'd want to be part of an AP program, in addition to what she's already mentioned, is the opportunity to be part of a group of like-minded students. And certainly my experience since the program has been here at Central Peel, you walk into an AP classroom where every student feels as though they're part of a community of learners, that the atmosphere is like electrically charged. Everybody is really working hard to to challenge themselves and to really, that learning environment has an energy that's really quite amazing. So that's another major benefit of being part of that program. The part about university preparation, the statistics are very clear about this, that the additional rigor and enrichment that is part of this program supercharges the preparation for university, and regardless of whether AP exams are written or not, being part of the program will ensure that your chances of being successful at university are much improved. In addition to perhaps setting yourself up well to earn some scholarship money, which is always a benefit as well. So the program itself, though, we won't lie to you, has some additional challenge in it, and that's the focus on having highly motivated students. The additional challenge, of course, will require that. It has hard work. You will experience that for sure. You'll have this opportunity to broaden your intellectual horizon, and it is that kind of class where every kid is committed to that learning environment. So we think these are the major benefits. However, again, we have experts in the crowd who can probably tell you from their point of view what the experience is like in an AP class. So we have two students who are going to come up and tell you about their experience in the AP program, Gerline Kalodi and Joseph Lattersai. Please welcome them.
Good evening to all. My name is Gerline Kalodi, and I'd like to share my experiences of being an AP student at Central Peel for the past year and 2 weeks. From the moment I entered an AP classroom, I noticed a difference right away in the teacher's approach, in the attitude of my classmates, but most importantly, over time, in my way of thinking. Unlike the past, in AP, the focus is not on memorizing facts and figures. For example, many grade 8 students know the Pythagorean theorem, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. But how many of us ever challenge and question the formula? In AP, we're given the chance to study subjects in greater depth and detail and understand how these formulas are actually derived. We engage in intense discussions, solve problems individually and collaboratively, and learn to write clearly, persuasively, and precisely. AP students are required to reason, analyze, and understand for themselves. Students develop the ability to learn independently and seek knowledge tirelessly. This is perhaps the most exciting part of AP for me, to go out and explore on my own. It is no secret that AP courses can be challenging, but it's also no secret that only through challenges can we achieve true personal growth. To some, this might sound like a recipe for a great deal of stress, but through the support of teachers, parents, and like-minded peers, we manage the stress quite well. I believe both Joe and I fit the criteria of being highly motivated and academically inclined students, and therefore AP is the perfect program for us.
Hi, I'm Joe, and I'm both an AP and regional strings student here at Central Peel. Last year and this year, in my gym class, the non-AP students would ask me if AP is the hardest thing in the world with tests every day and 4 hours of homework. But it's not true. There isn't more work in AP so much as there is more in-depth work. You go deeper into the subjects that you study. If you work hard and stay organized, it is possible to do extremely well in all your classes. Don't get me wrong, it's not for everyone. AP is for students who want to do well, who want to succeed, and who have a strong desire for knowledge. Now, Strings is also an exceptional program. The teachers there push you so that you sound as good as you can when you play your instrument. They want you not only to succeed, but to thrive in the program. Last year, I started as a beginner on the double bass. Ms. Marcus wanted me to do well, so she pushed me, and in second semester, I moved to the intermediate class. Now, starting grade 10, I'm in the advanced class. Ms. Marcus told me last year that in a few years with a lot of practice, I could make it to the Toronto Youth Symphony Orchestra. I'd been playing the bass for a month, and she already had that much confidence in me. The teachers in the program will put in the work. They'll put in the time for you. If you put in the practice and the studying time and the effort back in, you'll be amazed and thrilled by what you can achieve in both these programs. Thank you.
we would like to introduce Mr. Wardlaw now.
I have to follow them. Thanks. I'm up here to tell you the difference between AP and IB, because I'm sure many of you have that question because you know about the IB program. But before I tell you the comparisons, let me tell you about both these programs have an exceptional academic program. They are excellent. The second thing is they both have a strong foundation for university. So both programs have those things. However, we feel that AP has an advantage in two areas. The first is the flexibility of the program. The second is the cost of the program. So let's talk first about the flexibility. The best way to describe this is to simply make a comparison by saying you're a math student in grade 11 and 12. You love math, but you're not too happy about social science. You're just not there, which upsets me as a social science teacher. But you don't like social science. What you can do is take that math course, write that AP exam, and get that AP credit. But that social science course, you can still take the class, but you don't have to write the exam. What's the penalty for that? There is none. You still get your Ontario credit. So what's the difference between IB and AP? IB forces you into taking both programs. It doesn't have that flexibility built in. That can be a very stressful time for a student who is just not happy in a subject area. So that's one major advantage. The second is the cost. Here at Central Peel, we charge $200 at the grade 9 level to come to the school. Then we charge $200 in grade 10, $200 in grade 11, and $200 in grade 12. The IB program doesn't do that. By the time you reach the senior years, you will be paying as much as $1,200 for your courses to get into the program. Why? One of the reasons is because teacher development is at the local level. You've already seen Mrs. Robinson here. She's a huge supporter. You can see we go straight to her college and we learn. The other is the fact that the AP teachers, we share our curriculum. We talk to other teachers. Just this year, I was in a class with someone from China who's teaching the program in China. We communicate. The IB program has a very strict, rugged program which they charge each individual school for at each individual course. Obviously, they have to charge more when they have that type of thing. Well, that's basically it for me. If you have more questions on this topic, I'm going to be out back. Right now, I'd like to introduce you to one of the most passionate speakers and passionate teachers I've ever met, Miss Tadelman.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and hello to one and all, and to the students I've seen or met when I visited you in your grade 8 school a few weeks ago. I hope I live up to Mr. Wardlaw's compliment. I have a slight cold, so please excuse me. All right, good news then, students. I'm here first and foremost to help you assess yourself. Assess the extent to which the AP program is a good fit for you, and in turn, if you too are a good fit for the program. It works both ways. Okay, what then is an ideal AP student? You have heard the student's voice. You have heard Mr. DeMeyer. You have heard Linda Robinson. The one thing you must be is you must love to learn. I think down the road, our AP graduates will be writing the book called The Joy of Learning. Well, to have the joy means also that you have a very curious mind. You have that curiosity about you that drives you to seek answers. And so therefore you take it upon yourself to explore, to do research, to conduct experiments. Why? Just because you want to. And one thing it means, you will put in 100% of yourself. It is this intellectual curiosity that fills you, not the other kind that talks about who is wearing what, which celebrity is going out with whom. You're not interested in that kind of inanity. You have minds that echo what Eleanor Roosevelt had once said. Great minds discuss ideas. Average minds discuss events. And small minds discuss people. Your minds, AP students, guess what? Gravitate towards learning. Your minds come alive with ideas. And you are passionate about exchanging those ideas, defending those ideas, refuting those ideas. And in a world where digital fluency is everywhere, that is so easy to do. And you will do that simply because you want to. You have an interest in learning, bar none. Wow. Because you see learning as enrichment, it is something that fills you with joy, something you find personally satisfying, something that inspires you from deep, deep within. You are therefore very motivated, and your work ethic is excellent. It is not from your lips that we will hear, "It's too much work. That's so boring." No, AP students would say it rather, "I get that. That's why the answer is pi square and not 4. And this is an actual case that happened yesterday. It is because you take the initiative in going the extra mile. In all aspects of learning, you will go above and beyond what is minimally required. And you love it. So a core of curiosity, an innate interest in learning. What better way than to satisfy this than by reading? Linda Robinson alludes to that. Are you an avid reader? In most cases, you bet. You read voraciously. You devour materials hungrily because you're so excited by what you can find. You know what? It's like a treasure hunt that never ends, should you not want it to. It goes on and on and on. And isn't that exciting? And because you delight in reading, your imagination has been fired time and again. Small wonder then that you are academically proficient. You are able to have a large vocabulary at your disposal. And more importantly, you comprehend the nuances of words. It is easy for you to distinguish how a skip is different from a walk, a strut, or a saunter. You delight in knowing this. You are able to express this with precision, with clarity, and with brevity. You appreciate the power of words and what it can do. So you have all these qualities then, my dear students, and more. Ideally, you will have the support of your parents or guardians, and they will give you the support that truly help you in your AP quest. And by that I mean parents who will work in tandem with our teachers to give you the support both in academic excellence and strength of character. Mr. DeMeyer alludes to that. For these are the two pillars, we believe, that will help you realize your dream and hopefully one day propel humanity forward and make this world a slightly better place. So welcome then to AP, my dear students, to the adventure playground of the mind, to a program that is challenging, at the same time enriching. In parents who will work in tandem with our teachers to give you the support both in academic excellence and strength of character. Mr. DeMeyer alludes to that. For these are the two pillars, we believe, that will help you realize your dream and hopefully one day propel humanity forward and make this world a slightly better place. So welcome then to AP, my dear students, to the adventure playground of the mind, to a program that is challenging, at the same time enriching. Welcome to a program where it is cool to excel. Welcome then to AP at Central Peel. Thank you. And how do you get there? Let me introduce you to Mrs. Allwood, Head of Counseling, who will give you the details. Mrs. Allwood.
Thank you. So as Ms. Tatelman referred to, I will be talking about some of the nitty-gritty details when it comes to what the program looks like for a grade 9 and 10 student, as well as how do you actually apply and get accepted to the program. So first off, for a grade 9 or 10 student who is taking AP only, these students do take all the same Ontario curriculum as far as the regular academic program. However, they're taking it in a pre-AP class with enrichment. So they will take the English, the math, the science, the geography, and the French. You'll notice the grade 10, the geography changes to history, again because of the Ontario curriculum. They'll also be allowed to take 3 optional courses. For a grade 9 or 10 AP plus string students, so we heard earlier that a great opportunity here at Central Peel is students can take both programs at the same time. So a student would take those pre-AP courses and in addition to that, 2 strings courses, 1 string course in semester 1 and 1 in semester 2, and still have their 1 optional course. For the student who applies to the strings program but who is not interested in applying to the AP program, their curriculum, again, the Ontario curriculum in the the math, English, science, geography, French. However, they will take 2 strings courses throughout the course of the year. Now, for grade 11 and 12 students, a student who's taking AP or AP strings, they can take they can choose the number of AP courses or AP exams they wish to write. And again, we heard that a little bit earlier. That's the flexibility that is built into AP at Central Peel. So that means the student may be, the mathematics and technology student who wants to focus there. Or perhaps they're the science student focusing in on sciences, or maybe business and economics. Arts and humanities are offered as well through the AP program, including, we heard, studio art, music theory, history courses. So the social sciences. And of course, we are already noticing within our AP students at Central Peel that there is the cross-curricular student, the one who finds their interest in many different areas. And at Central Peel AP, a student can fulfill those desires. We did want you to know another great element to coming to Central Peel is in grade 11. Once they are going into grade 11, they can apply to be part of the Specialist High Skills Major Business Program at Central Peel, a very well-established program at Central Peel, one of the strongest Specialist High Skills Majors programs in Ontario, and again, great experiences for students who have a keen interest in business. For the grade 11 and 12 strings student, again, not taking the AP but taking the strings, they will continue to take 2 strings courses every single year that they're in high school, and in the end will be granted a certificate of achievement, and they will continue to take their other courses as they choose. So that's how the courses work. So now you need to decide, do we apply and take the next step? So this is applicable to both AP and strings. So you need to assess your readiness. Are you sure you're up to the task? For the AP, there's actually a quiz on our website you can take to test yourself. Am I ready? Discuss it with your parent guardian and your teachers. Your grade 8 teachers, although I know you've only been with them for a few weeks at this point in time, in the next coming weeks, there should be opportunity to talk about what they see in you as a student. The application process is such. centralpeel.org is our website, and this information can be found in your package. You can apply between October 16th and November 9th. Students will include information about themselves, their AP readiness, and leadership experiences. There's an opportunity for a couple questions to be completed there. There is a $25 fee online. You can pay it online, and that allows us to receive your application. We will invite 500 students to write a Central Peel Math and Literacy Assessment. That assessment will take place on Saturday, November 29th at Central Peel at 10 a.m. in the morning. When we are ultimately choosing the students that will receive an offer, grade 7 marks, grade 8 progress report marks, learning skills on those report cards, grade 6 EQAO, the math and literacy evaluation, and the responses to the reflection questions on their application. Pay the $25 fee and then be invited on November 29th to Central Peel by appointment to either have your interview or your audition. So there's your timelines. In your package, there is a yellow brochure. It outlines all of these deadlines. We do want you to be aware, if you are offered a place, either AP, strings, or both, you may accept an offer. However, if you've applied elsewhere, once you've accepted one offer, you cannot accept a second offer. The only exception is here at Central Peel, can you accept 2 offers at the same time? So that's important when you're thinking about what are your priorities. And busing. We do hear from many parents that we have students coming from quite a distance. In our school this year, we have students from Mississauga, quite far south in Mississauga, and of course all the way up into the east and north area of Brampton. So busing is a concern. We do have a bus company that has been providing busing for our students for the last year and 2 weeks. In the front foyer, we encourage you to stop by their table and you can get some information about the private bus that you could purchase a seat for your child on. So at that time, we're getting close to the end. I'm just going to invite Mr. Demir back up to say a last few words. Thank you.
So I just want to end off by saying a couple of things. You've heard a lot of information about these 2 programs. And certainly, if you are one of those highly motivated students, it is quite possible that this program could be appropriate for you. You may have more questions. I'm going to point out 2 further opportunities before I say goodnight. One would be in your package, you'll find there are fact sheets on both of the programs. On our website, there's lots of information, including video clips, PowerPoint presentations, and links to AP materials from Canada and beyond. And I invite you to take advantage of those. Also, right now in the cafeteria, I have a team of teachers from our school who are experts and can answer all of your unanswered questions about how to apply, nature of the program, etc. So I thank you very much. The Strings program, by the way, if you're interested in the Strings program, is in the Strings room. Miss Marquez is set up there with some students and is there to answer your questions about the Strings program. So thank you very much. We really appreciate your interest in our programs.